Hello everyone, my name is Josh, and this is Waxing Pixels, the Battle Geek Plus podcast. As I said, my name is Josh, and in case you forgot, my name is Josh. I have a great memory, it's just very short. With me as always I have Heather.
Hi.
Ryan.
Hey.
And Frank's Island.
What was your name again?
Alright, so how's everybody doing?
Peachy.
I'm good. I just turned 35 years old, so now I'm eligible to run for president. So I am announcing my run to be a presidential candidate. So my motto is Make America Awesome.
Again.
I will vote for you.
Yeah, vote for me.
Tomorrow.
So-
I'm voting early, and I'm voting for Ryan.
So how can I join the electoral campaign like right now?
Well, I suppose you could start a Patreon,
Okay,
and you could be all like, help me raise money to become president.
there you go.
And maybe you could just kind of like get written in as, like a write-in president, I guess,
Yeah, because when I become president, I'm going to make video games part of the college curriculum and also part of the workday.
Sounds very productive.
Yes.
I'm totally down with that. I'm building furniture or whatever, and then so like, okay, Josh, you got to take your time to play Street Fighter for an hour. Oh, okay, cool.
So hashtag Ryan Molina 2016.
Yeah.
Although I'm still going to get carded at bars because I'm Asian.
Damn being Asian. Damn it to hell.
I still get carded,
When you shave.
and I'm only a couple years younger.
What's the point of going into a bar when you can't even handle a quarter of a beer?
He has a point, Ryan.
Yeah, that is true. No, but remember a couple of years ago when we were with Raph and we were going to all those bars?
And you threw your guts up
Yeah.
like a million times.
Yep, I was carded at every bar we went to.
I believe it.
Yeah, and also what was kind of funny back a couple of years ago, I would go to anime conventions. All my friends look older than me. They would go to the bars. They would go in just fine. But me, I was always carded. They were like, "Well, no." They're like, "Okay, you're fine. You're fine. No, you gotta show me your ID, dude." Every single time.
They actually, where I used to live, several years ago, Indiana, they actually, before leaving, made it so that it doesn't matter who it is, you card everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, I would be at the store, and I'd be buying beer, and there'd be, like, this, 75-year-old lady in front of me buying, some cooking wine, and, they'd card her, because it was, law. You had to.
Are you 21?
No.
Well, I think, it's funny because I feel like they ended up enacting that law just because women got pissed about not being carded anymore.
Really?
Well, because anywhere else, if you look, 30 or 35 or younger, you have to be carded. Period. That's the law. So then I've had plenty of, as a server, I would go to a table and a woman is obviously in her 50s with her daughter who is, 25. I have to card the daughter. And then I've had the mother, I've had this several times happens where the older lady gets legit upset with me for not carding her and not asking to see her ID. So I wouldn't be shocked if somehow someone got offended because they were 45 and ended up, not getting carded.
I'm sorry I didn't.
I don't know.
I'm sorry I didn't mistake you for sisters.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
Like that.
Anyway, so
Insecurity.
really, it's been kind of a slow news week so far. After the NX thing, and we just talked about that for an hour and a half, and half an hour of it went online thanks to technical difficulties.
Hooray!
They're really. I mean, there's been a bunch of people speculating crap and new rumors about, which is now it's called the Switch. I'm still used to calling it the NX, but the Switch. A lot of people have been posting up new rumors and all kinds of breakdowns and things like that, but really nothing's really going on. There was only one piece of news about that being all oh, by the way, it's not backwards compatible to Wii U because it doesn't have a disk drive.
What? Oh my god,
Oh, no.
that's just, I can't even, I'm boycotting everything Nintendo
And it's also
does
not
now.
compatible with the 3DS.
What?
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's not even going to use the same kind of game card. There was someone who actually posted a video recently where they cut the little lockout tab off of the end of a 3DS game card, and they put it into a regular DS, and it just doesn't even recognize it. It doesn't even try to play it. It just doesn't really care. It's oh, there's something in there, probably peanut butter, Like,
You know what's awesome?
what?
This boba.
Yes.
Oh, boba's delicious.
Boba is delicious.
Yes,
This is why we
Boba
have
Fett
it.
is.
Well, apparently he's made of tapioca.
Mine's
Yummy.
made of egg pudding.
Yours is made of egg pudding. Yeah, we took Ryan out to dinner and we had ramen. Ooh, Ryan, what did you eat?
I had a ramen burger for the first time in my life, and where has it been all my life?
Explain what a ramen burger is. Like, I would not know what that is unless I had seen it myself.
Well, a ramen burger is a hamburger. You have the hamburger meat, and then you have the buns that are actually ramen. And then you eat the hamburger meat in between these ramen buns, quote unquote. Although mine kind of came apart easily, but it was really good.
Well, I mean, it's a bunch of noodles
Yeah.
pushed together into bun shape.
Well, I've seen ramen burgers online, but mine wasn't crunchy. Mine was more sticky, but it was still good, though. But it came apart.
You devoured it.
Yeah, but it came apart really easily, though.
Right?
So I had to eat the ramen part last, but it was still good.
After that, we went out, got some dessert and stuff like that, and boba, and it was fun. And now we're back here and we're recording for you guys.
Yay! And Frank is being a blind guy right now.
I am. At least I'm using the VR.
Yeah, he's using the PlayStation VR, which has just been sitting ever since we did that stream like a week ago.
It's like I'm really blind.
The darkness is so real.
I know, right?
He's just sitting with it turned off, like on his head. And we haven't really touched it at all. Like, the only chance I've had to stream anything in the past, like, week, I've streamed Tomb Raider, and you've streamed Styx.
Yay!
And just, yeah, it's just been kind of sitting here. Today at Best Buy, a lot of, we were told by someone that a lot of PSVRs are getting returned.
Oh, how come?
Yeah, because they're like, oh, it's just, they keep coming back, bringing it back, be like, well, it's just not good. Well, really what they're saying is there's no full games out for it right now.
Yep.
There's not, like, remember how I had mentioned that was going to be the big problem in the beginning?
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened with the PS3 and the PS4, was that there wasn't really anything for them yet. And so, like I said, people are going to not buy them or they're going to return them because there's no full games out for it yet.
Well, it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, people expect there to be 60 different types of games right now. And, like, full games, not, like, little demos. So that's the big reason why they're being returned, but the reason people are actually giving is that, oh, it's no good, it's not any good. It's all like, no, you're just bitching because there's not a whole lot to choose from.
And what there is to choose from is like an hour long.
Yeah, that's at most.
I mean, I thought the music games were pretty cool when we played it that one first night that we played it and streamed it and everything. Frank's like looking at me, big finger quotes. And it's just so funny. But that was
Justice.
The music games were pretty much like my jam right there, but I don't think I really need to like pay $400 to play a couple of good music games, Like I can play them without VR and it'd still be fun.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I know Heather played Batman first, and I know we actually talked about this on a podcast that never came out because of technical difficulties. So, Heather, what did you think of Batman when you played it?
I mean, I liked it. That was my first time doing VR because prior, anytime I would see someone try to play VR, I feel very sick. Frank's very intently listening. And it was a lot of fun. There were definitely some parts about it. I mean, this was a non-threatening game whatsoever. Like, period. There was nothing about it that was threatening except for maybe, like, one part. And even then, that it was kind of expected. But that shit, it got intense. And it was just a Batman game. Like, it wasn't like Here They Lie or the kitchen demo where you nearly peed all over my couch.
Oh, yeah. You can watch that on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, holy shit. And, so I didn't get sick while playing it myself, but watching other people play it, I can't look at the screen. Like, I can watch for a little bit, and then I'll have to, like, pay attention to something else. Otherwise, I'm going to end up getting a massive headache and just not feeling good in general. I'm really glad that they just like, oh, hey, you want to grapnel over here? Okay, loading screen. I'm glad they did that because honestly, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there that were upset that you didn't actually like swing through the air. Honestly, I probably would have died if that had happened. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is going to happen. And I was prepared to just like close my eyes shut and just like pretend it didn't happen. And, oh, holy shit, whenever you're going down in the elevator, going down in the Batcave, like I was just sitting on the couch and I felt like I was going down in an elevator. So that was pretty intense. It's kind of amazing.
I think, like, I only watched you play it, like, watched, like, on the TV and everything, and I saw, like, you know, with you sitting down, like, you had a couple of difficulties with, like, picking up a clipboard, like, at a certain point, because the couch was, like, in the way.
Yeah.
And there were, like, a couple of points where, like, you were reaching down, like, at the very beginning to grab that key and put it in the piano, and there was... and like, you couldn't reach down far enough because the PlayStation camera then couldn't recognize that your hand was down there.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you did finally get that key, you immediately dropped it.
Yep.
You're just kind of like, I got it. And then you just let it go and, like, it hit the floor. And it was just kind of like, well, I guess we're not going to be Batman ever. And then it just finally, like, just gave up on letting you do it yourself. And the elevator just went down.
No, I eventually got it.
Not the key. Like, it was just like...
No. Like, I looked down and it wasn't there. And then I looked up and then it was lying on top of the piano.
Oh, okay.
And then I managed to be able to get it. And it took a while to unlock it, but I managed to unlock it.
Yeah, I also had the same problem with the key too when I played it because actually my camera is positioned higher than than your TV, so I actually had trouble getting the key because it was way too low for the camera. But I eventually got the key. Then I dropped it too, and then but I eventually got it. But and also now, I know Heather mentioned that the most immersive part for her was when she was going down in the Batcave. Actually, the most immersive part for me was when we were down in the sewer, trapped in the cage with Robin and Killer Croc. Like that really felt like I was inside a cage. And like Killer Croc was just right in front of me. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that entire scene, I completely expected what happened to happen. So it wasn't a shock, but like whenever he was on your side of the cage, like it was all like, holy shit, dude, back the fuck up.
The only thing that, like, really I didn't like, just out of what I saw you do, if I go, like, a good thing and a bad thing, like, the good thing was when you were standing in front of the mirror, like, as Batman.
And being able to make him dance.
Oh, yeah, that's
oh
what
my
everybody
God.
did.
That was the best part.
Yeah,
like, there was
I did that too.
That was, like, really good. But the thing I thought the story was kind of weak. Because I remember when... the Batman Arkham thing, like when someone finally brought it to my attention that this is a thing and I'm going to have a chance to play it, there was the matter of, like, oh yeah, and it's going to be this original Batman story and it's going to be a murder mystery. And I'm just like, oh, sweet. I'm going to be Batman. I'm going to use utility belt stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot of detective mode and I'm going to find somebody's killer and capture them. Neat. But instead of that, like, they're all like, let's tie this back into the entire Arkham series and turn this into some sort of thing that leads into Arkham Knight. Which, I mean, if you've played Arkham Knight, then, like, you totally understand all the crap that's going on at the end and everything. It takes place after Arkham City, but before Arkham Knight. And it totally just kind of, like, you're doing all this cool detective stuff, and, like, you end up having to, like, get out of a trap at some point, and that's cool, too. And then just, like, out of nowhere, it's all like, oh, by the way, here's the end. And it's dumb.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing in that aspect.
Like, it was more like they were writing this really good detective story, and then they just kind of, like, ran out of time and said, fuck it, let's do this.
Yeah.
And just kind of tacked this weird ending on. Like I don't know, it's like Fry from Futurama writing the nonsense plot book from like, when the brains invaded.
And then the big brain left for no reason.
I am the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it felt like. I would have rather seen, like, you didn't have to, like, include, like, all that stuff. Like, you'd just been like, okay, the murderer is this random guy. And you have caught him.
Hooray!
You are Batman. Yay. Yeah, that would have been fine. So, whatever. But I still haven't sat down and played it yet, and I probably won't for quite a while. So, I've been too busy with Rise of the Tomb Raider, playing that for, like, the past couple of weeks pretty slowly.
Me too.
So,
I know that you're further in the story than I am.
Right.
But I have more percentage done because since I'm not streaming it, and also you feel like since you're streaming it, you have to keep the story moving. But I'm definitely that kind of person. I get to an area and I'm all like, hey, there's a story mission over here. Ooh, a side mission. Ooh, a side mission. Ooh, a side mission.
There's a really dumb mission that I got stuck on last night.
Yeah.
Like, I decided what I was going to do was I was going to stream for 2 hours. The first hour, I was going to run around and collect random crap. Mm-hmm. And the second hour, I was going to do story stuff. Mm-hmm. And during that, I decided, you know what, these little side missions, I'll count them as story stuff. And so I'm doing these side missions, and they're pretty cool. And then there's this one that I'm stuck on so far, because you have to find a bird.
Oh, fuck.
Right? You're in a specific area, and you have to look around and find a specific bird.
That sounds like something that you would need to be able to use one of your skill points to get, like, survival awareness or whatever it is, where you can find challenge things easier.
Maybe.
So that would probably help you.
But, like, I was so just, like, angry about how long that took me. Actually, I didn't finish it. Like, I went and did other crap and then came back and said, you know what, I'll find this bird later. See you guys.
Thing that I got angry about when I was playing Tomb Raider the other day. Okay, so you get to a new area, and then there's, of course, predators in the area. There are wolves, there are, snow leopards, there's that lynx, there's bears,
Is that what it is? Is it a lynx?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I called it like a leopard or something.
What about the invisible alien?
There's those too. You have to watch out for their pew pew lasers.
But the bear.
But the bear. Okay, so the first bear you encounter is at the very beginning of the game. The second bear you encounter is whenever you get through the mountains and whatever, you end up joining up with some allies and shit. And there's a bear in that area. Well, I found a cave, and I'm like, ooh, is this an entrance to a tomb? And I go down there, I'm like, nope, it's a bear, and I nope the fuck out. And then I went back, a little while later when I was prepared to go after a bear. And I tell you what, poison arrows are like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, I know. I watched you play, and you're just like, oh, there's a couple of guys over there. Poison arrows.
Oh my god, it's so
there's
awesome.
Another guy. Poison arrows.
Like
Better craft more poison arrows.
I will be in active combat. Like guys are like coming from all over the place, and I'm like, ooh, poison arrow. Kill 3 of them. It's awesome. But anyway, so I go after this bear. I nail it with poison arrow, and I start shooting at it. And then when the poison arrow wears off, it chases me outside. Poison arrow it, shoot it a few times, and it starts chasing me around again. And I shoot it with my last poison arrow, and it fucking dies. And it stands up, it's like, brrr, and it falls over and it's dead. And I'm like, yay, I win. And I run over to the bear, and, the gas has pretty well dissipated. And now, granted, I hadn't tried this before, where I ran towards, an enemy so quickly after killing it. And I go ahead and I hit the button to start scavenging from the bear. And the game is auto-saving after, the bear being killed. So I'm in the middle of doing the animation of scavenging, and Laura starts dying because there's still poison gas. And I'm like, oh fuck, I need to get away. And I'm trying to scramble away. And I'm pressing the circle button to get the fuck away, but she's stuck in this animation of scavenging. And then she stands up and she falls over dead. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was so pissed. So then it loads me back up at a tomb that I had finished probably a half hour to 45 minutes beforehand. And I'm like, oh shit. I have to do that all over again. So I go back to the cave. Nope. Bear's gone. Also, I didn't get my loot. I was pissed.
Right?
Pissed.
That's gotta be
pissed.
That would piss me off too, but then again, I don't hardly ever use the poison arrows because I can only carry 2. And I've got
3.
And I've got other skills that I use instead. I can fire 3 arrows at once. And so
I never even bothered getting that one.
So what I'll do is there was 3 guys hanging out, and I'm just kind of oh, okay. Boop, 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 set it all up, and then just let it go. 3 arrows, kill all 3 at once. Okay, cool. And before that, before I had upgraded it that far, it was 2 arrows, and which it was I would... Frank just took off the headset.
And he's looking around like a newborn baby. What's all this?
His eyes have to readjust to the light. But when I was 2, there'd be 3 guys, and I'd fire on 2, and the 2 guys would fall over dead, and the other guys were I think we have trouble here. To the dead guys on the ground. And while he's saying that, I'm already aiming for a headshot on him too. So I'd say my favorite upgrade so far though, I like to do investment upgrades. So for example, I'm not all I'm going to get this super cool skill right away. Instead I'm all oh cool, the one where if you kill the same people, if you kill a number of people the same way over and over again, you'll keep getting like a bonus multiplier or whatever on experience points from that.
Yeah.
So like if I burn a guy to death, and then I burn another guy to death, and then I burn another guy to death, like those, like I get more experience out of that than say like headshot this guy with a rifle, stab this guy with a combat knife, and then burn that guy. You know, so like,
if I can get away with it, I'm gonna stealth kill every fucker I see.
do you have the combat knife yet?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That last night I finally got to do my first stealth kill with the combat knife.
I haven't. When I got the combat knife, I just lit that tower. That's where you find the combat knife. I haven't moved forward yet.
Okay, well no, like
Wait. No, I moved forward in the story, but there wasn't a stealth section because the village was being attacked, so it was an active combat zone.
You know how like in the first Tomb Raider, after you go through an area, if you go back to that area later on, like the first time or two that you go back there, there'll still be like a few guys like just set up in different spots.
I mean, I guess. I
Like,
kind of remember.
It's kind of like that, and so like I haven't gone too much further forward. But like of all the spots that I'd gone forward, I hadn't really had a chance to do much stealth killing. Like, but this was the first time I got a chance to just walk up and just straight up do it.
Like stab a guy?
Yeah.
Now I'm
like,
excited.
And like instead of like pulling out the bow and choking him out,
Right.
like
yeah.
instead like she goes to pull the knife and I'm just like on the stream, I'm just like, oh yeah, you know. And then like I stab this dude and I'm just like, yes, like that was so much quicker.
See, I get all excited whenever I do. Well, when I don't have to do a muffled kill in sticks, like this last level that I did on the stream, I missed one of the coins and it was driving me crazy. So I'm running around. There were several guys that I didn't kill, and I just basically went through and just murdered everybody I hadn't yet to look for the coin. And my favorite kill that he has is that he basically just like pulls a guy down and just starts stabbing them in the face. And I was just like, yeah, stabbity.
Speaking of stabbity, now I also have in Rise of the Tomb Raider, I have upgraded so that when I do melee attacks, like you know how like when before like you would shoot a guy and it has a little skull over his head and you can run over and finish him off like melee, like how at the beginning of the game like it's pretty much the same as a stealth kill. You end up like going to choke him out, right?
Yeah.
Now I have both of my ice picks, and
instead
I'll just run up and just like stab him in the head and yank him forward, sort of thing, and like that's my kill.
I'm pretty sure that I have that already. Yeah.
You might have gotten it before me just because you were like focusing on getting more crap so you
Probably.
could like do more upgrades
More
and stuff.
likely.
Which I finally got that rope ascender too.
Right. That
And-
I got like, I don't know, maybe 10% into the game.
Right?
Not even.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even have, I hadn't even gotten rope arrows yet or, you know, anything like that. And I already had the rope ascender.
Right.
But yeah, with, it was so funny. I was telling Frank about this. But during my stick stream, at the end of the level, I ended up doing a covered kill. So I yank a guy around a corner and I stab him, and then you set their body down, right? Well, I was so close to the wall, the guy ended up glitching to where it looked like he was doing like wall squats and like holding it. So I was all like, yeah, work on them glutes. It was so funny because he just was like, I'm just sitting up against the wall and not going anywhere. And then I was like, okay, I need to murder somebody and bring him over here so he has a buddy. And I sat a guy down. It didn't quite work. I picked him back up and I tried to get closer to the wall, and I managed to get the guy to kind of clip into the wall. So he wasn't nearly set as perfect, but he had a wall squat buddy.
So like you had two dead guys just doing wall squats.
Yep.
there.
At the end of the level. I was so proud of myself. So proud of myself.
So Ryan, you've been streaming Gears of War 4.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's been going on with that? Like I've played Gears of War for about 10 minutes of my life.
Right.
It's not really like my thing.
Yeah, I don't even think I've played that
I mean,
much.
I like cover shooters and like third person and all that, but I never really got into Gears of War, especially not owning an Xbox. So
Right.
tell me, what's going on with that?
Yeah. I got into Gears of War almost a decade ago.
Holy shit, has it been that long?
Yeah, we were back in Terre Haute, back when the first one came
Yeah,
out.
I know, but that didn't hit me until now. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, I mentioned this in my awesome video game memories video. Like, a lot of people were saying Gears of War is going to be the killer game for the Xbox 360. I wasn't too interested in it, but I became interested in it because one of my favorite game designers, his name's Cliff Bleszinski. He actually made a game called Jazz Jackrabbit back in the early 90s, and he also did Unreal Tournament. That's the reason why I got into Gears of War. But now, so Gears of War 4 though. So I just completed it on Twitch. I liked it, but there were a lot of problems that I had with it. Mostly, I think it had the potential to be a passing of the torch game, but it didn't do that good of a job of doing that. I mean, I will do an awesome video game memories of it, like covering all my gripes, all my memories of it. But it's a decent game. I don't think it's a great game though. That's the problem.
So are you talking about passing of the torch in the sense of the story, or in the sense of like a development team, or what?
Actually both. Yeah, because like Cliff doesn't work for Epic Games anymore. He's actually doing his own thing. So Epic Games had to sell the Gears of War franchise to another company. So like they're the ones continuing it now.
Okay. So story wise, it could have been passed on to some new characters, so to speak, and development wise, it could have been kind of a new age of Gears of War sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really kind of live up to either quite completely.
Yeah, it didn't quite live up to the original trilogy.
So is it a game that you would still recommend brand new, or
I'd recommend getting it when it's a lot cheaper.
Like, we talking $40 or $20?
About $40 at most.
40? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, isn't the story with that just be like, aliens, fight them?
It's a little more complicated than that.
Well, basically, aliens fight them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
isn't that like supposed to be like the general basis for Halo? Aliens fight them.
Yeah. That's also the general basis.
I have this wonderful thing in my head where
the brain,
where Master Chief is actually Master Chef, and he runs around with a chef hat. Yeah.
Reminds me of Chex Quest.
Oh yeah, I used to have that.
Chex Quest. Yeah, it was a game. It was a reskin of Doom that came with. Okay. It was a disc, a CD-ROM. Mm-hmm. There was a reskin of Doom that came with boxes of Chex, and so you put it. It was like this was like Windows 95, Windows 98, something like that. And you would put that in, load it up, and you are running around. It's the same sort of control scheme and everything as Doom. It's even got the same layout of the levels as Doom. Only the enemies are like sogginess or something like that. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, and like you're protecting the cereal from getting soggy. And all of your weapons are like these...
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And your weapons are like all these like food and cereal based items and stuff. Like, like milk or orange juice guns and like little zapping things to zap them away in a cartoony manner. And like
microwave gun.
Your melee weapons, like you start off with like a spoon, and then like you upgrade it later on, so it's like this motorized rotating spork, instead of like a chainsaw. And it's the same stuff. And I didn't realize it at first that it was just a complete reskin of Doom. It just seemed very similar to Doom, right? Oh. Like id Games like made it for kids, right? Until there was one day I'm poking around on the menu and I push the same button that you push on the keyboard to bring up the other chapters of Doom. And that's the one part that they didn't change in Chex Quest. So I'm looking at this bright cereal-themed game, and I press something on the keyboard, and what pops up is this like red dripping blood font of the other chapters of Doom, and I'm trying to go to them, and it's all like, oh, you don't have those. So like, I was just like, wait, this is just fucking Doom with cereal. So
Doom cereal.
Yeah,
I actually might still have my Chex Quest disc somewhere.
I wonder if anyone's like playing it like on Twitch or anything like that. Like that would be crazy. Chex Quest.
Yeah, we could probably look it up on Twitch if we want.
I mean, I don't know if like any of those discs. I don't know if those discs would like work with like Windows 7 or anything. But
you'd have to use DOSBox with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But there is a way to get them to work.
Yeah, there's a way to get them to work.
Okay. Frank, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing Dungeon Defender 2 and Poker Night as the inventory 2.
Is the Dungeon Defender one, is that the one that you were playing when I was standing next to you because I wanted to say something?
Yeah, that's when you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's how I woke up the other day.
Yeah. Like it was like you were in the middle of a battle and I wanted to show you something on the phone, on my phone. And so like I stood there and I was like, at first I just walked up like, hey Frank, and you didn't notice me. You had your headset on and I realized you were in the middle of a battle. So I stood there and I waited. And then like it was like victory, and then you just kind of leaned back, kind of like relaxing a little bit, and you were just like, holy shit, like nearly threw your headset at me, like, god damn.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's about how I felt when I came back from when I came back from the store.
Oh yeah.
And like you were like waiting at your window for me to walk by, and you were like, "Don't fuck up," and it scared the shit out of me. That's about how I felt.
I got you going out, and I got you going back in.
You got me. Like since then, like I like check, like as I walk by your window to get to the front door. I'm all like, now the way the apartment's set up, like you go up the stairs and I have to walk by his room to get to the front door. And so like I will check the window and I'm just kind of like, okay. And just to make sure that I don't get scared by Frank being all like, don't fuck up. You know. But anyway, Dungeon Defender 2, that looks kind of like WoW. Like what is that?
That's not WoW, but it's a Dungeon Defender game. You get waves of enemies coming at you, and you set up towers, barriers, stuff to slow the enemies down and destroy them and whatnot. And you can, by yourself as a character, go around and do other shit as well.
Do you play online, don't you?
Yeah, you can play with people.
So is this, now I said it looks kind of like WoW. Like, is it like in any way related to Warcraft, or is this just like its own thing?
Its own thing.
Okay, it just kind of has.
It's
that
just
look
fantasy
to it.
related.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, like, there's like different kinds of fantasy. You know, there's like, there's like Lord of the Rings looking fantasy.
Fair enough.
There's like Zelda looking fantasy. There's WoW looking fantasy. That sort of thing.
I don't know.
Final Fantasy looking fantasy.
I would say that the kind of fantasy that this game looked to me is the cute kind of fantasy, because it's like
almost
really
like Torchlight.
Like it's very, very brightly colored, and all the characters are tiny and adorable.
Cartoony.
Which kind of reminded me of WoW.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I've never really looked super closely at it. Like, I'm always like 8-10 feet away when he's playing it, and I just kind of glance over, and then I go back to my super hardcore adult games like Rise of the Tomb Raider.
So adult.
Yeah.
it's free to play, so.
Oh, okay.
That's one reason I got it.
Cool. And then you said you're also playing Poker Night 2. You said you've been playing to like unlock some stuff?
I've play enough to where the next time I play, I get the option of getting a special item if I win. I figured the viewers would be more into that rather than me trying to get something unlocked.
Right. Okay. So you're planning on streaming your attempt at getting this item?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is this like some like secret item or anything? Like, is it like a spoiler sort of thing? Or can you tell us what the item is?
It depends on what it is. It's either the orb from Venture Brothers, the book from Army of Darkness,
the Necronomicon.
Yeah, and what else? Something to do with Claptrap. I can't remember which one it was.
But that's what you're attempting to go for next time you stream?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That'll be something to tune into. We'll also put that up in segments on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BattleGeekPlus. So is there anything else that you're playing right now?
Oh, I play WoW a little bit, but only the free version of it because I don't feel like paying for it at the moment.
Yeah, well, I heard you can play up to level 20 for free.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You can,
What's the max level in WoW?
110.
110? Well, yeah, with every expansion, it's it's like 10.
Did it go up? What was it originally? Like
100. And then it was at 90, then 85, then 70,
Holy
then
crap.
60, then 50.
Well,
now it's 110?
Now it's 110.
Yeah, I actually heard you can pay money to level up in WoW.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, like real money.
If you buy...
That's shitty.
Yeah, that sucks.
If you buy Warlords of Draenor, you get a free 90 level character boost, and if you buy Legion, the newest one, you get a free character boost to level 100.
But it's not like an item you can just buy at random, just like, here, you started a new character for no reason. I'm going to buy a thing to level up.
Yeah, you can actually just pay to get your character level up.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I heard this. There was like a huge debate about this, whether there's people who spent years on this game working their characters up. Now you can just pay to have your characters up.
Okay, like I can see people being pissed, being like, I've been playing WoW for years and I worked hard and blah, blah, blah. Now these assholes can just pay money. I think it's like, fuck off, who cares? Oh no, you put in all this work. Would you have been that person that would have paid to level up your character?
Well, I think with WoW, I remember back in the day, people were always like, oh yeah, I've got this new character. I'm trying to get him up to level 80. Is level 80 still some kind of amazing threshold or something that people are always trying to get up to with their characters, or is that not a thing anymore?
No.
Okay, because 80 was this thing that I kept hearing a lot from other WoW players.
That, I think, was the Lich King. expansion.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. So, like, I can understand if, like, because 80 seemed like this threshold before you could, like, really start playing. Like, you needed to work your character up to 80, and then you could start really going and having fun. Just because of the way the game had developed over time. Mm-hmm. Now, I could totally see, like, you're playing, you start a new character, you're like, fuck it, I'm going to pay however much to get my character up to 80. And then from there, like, you got to work.
Well,
you know?
I think it's bullshit because the idea of just being able to pay money to level up your character, that takes the point out of playing entirely.
Maybe,
you know,
but
I mean, one of the big draws for playing things like WoW is the leveling up process itself. But that's also the process that gets people addicted to playing these games. But if you're going to start throwing, you know, real money to be able to, like, you don't have to, you can just, fuck, it, like, they've already, it's like they took out the middleman. So there were plenty of people that would pay somebody else to log in as their character and play for X amount of hours to level them up for them, so they don't have to put any actual quote-unquote work into it. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they cut out the middleman on that part. But then, I don't know, I feel like it's utterly stupid, and then it's also, this is going to sound dumb, but it's unfair. It really, truly is, because, you know, maybe the guy who just kind of plays just every now and again, or the kid who, you know, has X amount of, you know, maybe 2 hours a night he's allowed to play or something, you know, and then some jerkwad who just started his character yesterday is already level 100 or 110 or, you know, whatever. Like, fuck off.
Well,
you know?
I remember, well, then, okay, so paying for levels, like, you know, I understand what your feelings on that, but what about then the concept of just, like, taking someone and, like, power leveling them? So, like, for example, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. There was a level based on the second movie that Broly was in. And when you go through that level, you don't even have to defeat Broly. The whole point is to gather the Dragon Balls. But if you do it in a specific way, then, like, you can gather, like, 7 Dragon Balls instead of 3, and then you get even more level, and then, like, if you actually defeat Broly, then you get even more. And so, like, when I had the game, and I had worked my character up really hardcore before they raised the level cap, and then our friend Oompa, he bought the game, like, later. And so I took him online, and I just took him with me into that level, and
over and over again, right?
Over and over,
Yeah.
and to get him up to, like, level, like, 30 or 40 in, like, a few minutes. That way he could just at least be caught up with all the people who've been playing for a few months.
Right.
You know, and then he could go about, you know, the rest of whatever. And then I would do, and, like, he just had to stand there while I did all the work, which wasn't that hard for me by that point. And then he would get, you know,
All
he's just
the
like, okay, I'm
experience.
level 20 now, like, after the first run.
Yeah.
You know, and then, like, I did the same thing with when I made more characters, because I had my main character, and then I made characters from other races and genders and things like that. So, like, I had, like, a Namekian character, and, like, I took him into the Broly level because it was unlocked because of my first character, and just collected the 3 Dragon Balls, noped the fuck out of there, you know, and just did that a bunch of times to get him up to, like, some point where, like, it was decently playable, and I didn't have to put weeks and weeks into just some other character that was a side character of mine. Like, what do you guys think about, like, that sort of, like, abuse of the system?
I don't know.
Well, I would say that's a freaking loophole in general, but you're not getting a leg up over other people. So like, literally anybody can do that. Anybody.
Anybody.
Whereas, you know, some dickwad who has, you know, however much money to fucking blow on just leveling a character all the way to 100 over, you know, somebody else who doesn't have the money to blow, that's fucking shitty.
Okay, yeah. Ryan, you were starting to chime in. Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit neutral on it because, yeah, you know, there's some people out there, you know, that they don't have as much time to play the game as you do, or they want to, you know, they want to join you on some quests, but they're too low leveled, or else, like, they'll get killed easily. So it's, you know, like, just like, you know, it's just like training them in like some kind of way.
Like, you know, maybe some sort of room of spirit and time, perhaps?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. What do you think?
Then again, maybe my opinion is a moot point because I don't play these sorts of games. So,
Right.
You know.
That is true.
I don't know. Frank, what do you think?
It's been debated up until it actually came out. it does have problems, but it solves other problems as well.
Like
For
what
instance-
kind of problems?
Problems occur as in you're grouping with random people, and some new guy just bought his character like an hour ago, and he plays an important role, like a tank or a healer.
Okay.
And because he hadn't put much time into knowing exactly how his character plays,
It could fuck the entire mission.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Especially when that goes from like a group of 5 to a group of like 20. Now it also solves. It also helps solve the problem with veterans. Veterans of the game, you know, I've leveled through this area so many times it's boring as shit and whatnot. I know how to play classes and whatnot. And it also helps people that are new to the game try to catch up with their friends. And
Who've been
actually,
playing.
yeah, and actually try to play the same content as you. Because let me tell you from constant experiences, whenever someone at the end game would try to invite me into a new game, online game, I would have to start from square one and try to level all the way up. And by the time I got to them, or even halfway, something would happen that's, I don't play that game anymore, man. Like, okay, thank you for wasting my time.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I have a question for you, Frank, for WoW. So, even though, like, you know, people can just, you know, like, pay money to like raise their levels to max, that's no substitute for, you know, actually, you know, having skill at the game, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So in a way, maybe it wouldn't even matter, because even if like somebody paid for their character to be at like, well, you know, like level 110, but they're gonna suck at the game anyways, money like doesn't substitute for experience.
Yeah, that's true. And it could be said.
Fair enough.
Same could be said for Xenoverse. Like, yeah, Oompa. You know, like I got him up to like level 40 or 50 or something like that. You know, really quickly. But if you were to go into like an online match and try and fight another dude, like having only had the game for like a couple of hours, versus someone who, even if they were, you know, the same level, you know, they're on like their third character and they're leveling that character up and da-da-da-da-da. You know, like Oompa would still, just not knowing the strategies of Xenoverse, get his ass kicked. Like, I'm not all that great. I don't really play online matches or anything like that, but like still I would have a huge leg up over him in skill just because I know how it all works, because I've been playing it for weeks where he had been playing it for like an hour.
Right. Okay.
So-
Fair enough. I maybe a big reason why I think it's shitty is because, you know, paying real world money, that's just greedy.
Yeah.
That's just greedy. Like, microtransaction in games piss me off. And then, you know, pay real money to level up your character. Like, fuck you,
Well,
man.
if you're going to get money for people being lazy, you might as well make it worth your while.
Yeah, because otherwise,
Fair
you know,
enough.
they're just going to use those third-party services anyway, where like someone in a different country just kind of logs on as their character and just plays as them while they're at work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Fair
and then
enough.
they turn around and they come home.
I mean, I do know that there was definitely that sort of thing that went on. Like, I did that online pony game.
Pony Island.
Yeah, Pony Island. And, I mean, granted, all it was just, like, pretty pictures of ponies, and you would feed them and vet them. And one of the great things about that website was that it taught genetics, because you could breed ponies together and you would end up with a baby. You know, it would inherit traits from the parents, and, you know, you could have breeding projects and shit. And it ended up getting really intricate by the time that I stopped playing, because they had so many different genetic differences, like, you know, whether it be coloring or patterns or anything of that nature. And I mean, people had multiple accounts just for one entire breeding project. And then this was a paid site. The reason it was a paid site was because the site was originally meant for children. And having it as a pay site meant that trial users weren't able to interact on the forums and message users. So it was a protective sort of thing to keep creeps from fucking with kids. And it wasn't expensive. It was $24 a year. A year. You know, the price went up $2 whole fucking dollars, you know, by the time I left. So it wasn't expensive. And there were plenty of adults who played, and men, women, boys, girls, like whatever. It was a fun game, and you could interact with the community and whatever. But there was one thing you could do. The way that you would make money or get bonus points, which is what you would use to go to the generator and make a pony that didn't, it was something called a starter pony. A starter pony doesn't have a mother or a father in their pedigree. They are they're basically, they're basically Adam or Eve. And so you would use these bonus points to go generate a brand new pony, whether it be because you're looking for a particular color, or you want to start a new breeding project and be like, oh, I want a baby that has zebra stripes and stockings, that sort of thing. So then you would go and generate a pony that carries stockings and zebra stripes, and then you would have to work on getting more bonus points to be able to make a mate for that pony. So you start breeding them together. And the way you would get bonus points get gold, you would be able to run contests for your ponies. So, races, swimming, whatever. It's not something you really didn't have to do anything. The only thing you had to do was, enter them into a contest, whether a private one that you made or one that was public, and you would just level up. And every time you leveled up a pony, you would get bonus points and you would get gold. And that's how you would buy items or make a pony. And people would sell gold for real money or bonus points for real money. And a lot of people would pay real money for somebody who didn't have a job and sat around all day and would have an alarm, be like, oh, every hour on the hour, I'm going to enter these ponies into a contest. So you could not have the time to do that, pay somebody else to do it, and then you log on a week later and suddenly you have, 250 bonus points and, $500,000 in gold. So that was something that happened all the time on that site.
Yeah, well, honestly, I actually think this, like pay to raise your level, like this whole thing, I just personally think it takes away the experience of the game of doing it yourself, because it's like it's kind of like going to school, but then you pay the teacher to give you good grades, but then, after you graduate.
What, you didn't do that, Ryan?
Well, of course. Well, of course not. I was a C student. But I earned that C. But anyways, then after that, once you get a job, but you don't know how to fucking do it, and you're fucked. It brings back memories of, the 5th Phoenix Wright game. There's this law school where this one guy, he actually paid the professor to pass.
Oh, well, that happens in real life, so,
yeah, so.
Whatever.
But, I just think with games, it's not the end game that's important. It's the experience you get.
Maybe if there was there wouldn't really be a way to do this, because there would be third-party people that people could still pay to level up a character. But maybe, if there was a way to be able to track being you literally just bought this game. You cannot buy levels for your character. You actually have to put in the effort, the work, and experience. And then the next time you make a character, you've had this game for X amount of time. Here you go. Just pay the game $5 and we'll level you up, 50 times or something. I don't know.
I would agree with you on that one, except for the part where if I wanted Josh to play World of Warcraft with me, he couldn't just pay to get to my level.
Right. That's a good point.
I mean, maybe if on the first character then there was a certain threshold, you were just kind of okay, the game's pretty much going to be playable for you to join other people at this level. So you can pay to go up to here. But Frank, he's on his 6th character or something. He can just do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. It's just kind of okay, you can buy yourself all the way up to levels that don't even exist yet because whatever. That sort of thing. That would be maybe a happy medium. But I think really this is just a case of you have to take the good with the bad, because they're going to be third-party people that are going to make it an option anyway. And you might as well, if it's going to be happening, it might as well be something that generates revenue toward the game so that more and better content can come out for that game. So it's like legalizing pot in Colorado.
Yeah, so it's a mixed bag for everybody, really.
Except for I can't really think of too many bad things about pot. But anyway, so that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you for listening, everyone. This has been an episode of Waxing Pixels, the Battle Geek Plus podcast. If you want to watch us play games, because that's what we do, you can head over to twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus and watch us live. We also have some of our videos archived over there, but you can see our other archive videos over at youtube.com/BattleGeekPlus, where we also have some other shows. Ryan, tell them what they are.
Yeah, we have awesome video game memories where we talk about awesome memories about video games, and also we have Battle Geek Plus Arcade Edition where we actually go to arcades and play games, and we also have a whole bunch of skits too.
Awesome. Well, anyway, we will see you later. As always, I am Josh, and with me, Heather,
Bye.
Ryan,
See ya.
and Frank's Island.
See you next week.